Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm bankrupt once again by Jimmy and Cody.
Yes, sir.
What up?
And today's matchup is a matchup from the Rising Phoenix Odyssey tournament. Great guys over there. If you've not checked them out, just give their video a check. It's pretty awesome, guys. And they kind of pull a lot of other YouTubers and content creators into a tournament. And this is the first round. We've done this plenty of times in the past. I don't think Jimmy's ever been part of it. We tried to get you into something, but you couldn't due to scheduling reasons, if I'm correct.
Yeah, every year you ask me, or every time you ask me to do it, and I say yes, and then I promptly say no.
Yeah.
So one day I'm gonna be a part of this. What I'm actually doing is waiting until there's like enough baby leaders that I can only play baby decks the entire time.
That's fair.
That's the goal.
And the reason why he mentioned it, because these tournaments are made in a way where whatever you use in one round, you can't really use in another round. So, like, I can't play Yamcha, and I can't play particularly the main part of the engine I'm using in this deck. I could play Topo in any red deck I play. I could play Piccolo, Eradicator, Peace in any deck I play. But I typically go for, in this deck, the Gogeta chain, and just focusing more on the burn aspect of them. So I wouldn't feel comfortable playing the 5-drop and 4-drop Gogeta. But I will still play like Eradicator if I wanted to play a red green deck. So ideally, if you play certain archetypes, like if I play AOD, I can't play AOD again in another deck, even if I change to leader, because it's still the same like deck. And that's kind of these tournaments kind of run. And here, I picked one of the rounds in our matches where I felt was really good on the back and forthness of our matches. And here I'm just trying to get that early pressure on him, because Andrew 16 can ramp. And once he gets his whole kind of field established with his unison, it becomes a really hard matchup for my Yamcha burn deck.
Because you usually try to win the game by the burn skill, but there are situations where you just need a battle card attack to go through. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're playing the Eradicator package, which you are. Sometimes you really need that Eradicator swing to go through, and Boo being able to just either turn itself sideways and block that, or just bottom deck the card, you really, really struggle on, one big battle card swing a turn against the Boo unison. Which I can see that becoming a major roadblock in having to strike his life down quickly is kind of a pain in the 16 matchup.
He can also, like I said, even if I weren't to burn down that far, 16 had the ability on turn 2 to awaken. Because if I recall correctly, if you and your opponent have 5 energy like together, you can awaken, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So I mean, like, he was able to awaken regardless of what I did on his turn 3, and I just had to make sure I put enough pressure into there.
Yeah. Because you're kind of having a double-edged sword here, because you want to be able to strike his life down and make this game be over quick, but you're also really loading his hand. And 16 awakening early is kind of bad in a lot of cases, because they lose out on their front side draw. But you gave him so many cards from his life that he probably feels very comfortable just flipping his leader over and then playing with the resources that he has, because he's most likely going to slam Boo Unison. He's going to start getting supplemental draws from that. He probably plays like 1-drop 18s that can top 5 search for androids if he really needs it, the deck being majority androids. Like, he grab pretty much everything he wants. Like, kind of like plays yourself into a corner, because you gave him so many resources so early and gave him the comfortability to awaken.
Well, he takes a bunch of life when he flips, so like his first 2 or 3 life are just free. He takes them no matter what.
Of course.
Yeah. And here I'm just trying to either give this card those cards I've given him, or just get him to burn something.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose to... This is a very interesting decision when I chose to add another unison to my hand compared to a Violent Ray, because I know Intro 16, most of this, I think all the 16s are pretty much that you play in this deck are 20k or 25, if I recall correctly. So Violent Ray could be very beneficial, but he was in another round, very he liked to swing in my unison. So I wanted to make sure if I lose this one, I can establish another one just the following turn.
Yeah, all of the 16s that you're going to worry about, damage threatening wise, are going to be 20k and above. I believe it's limited disengaged. I believe he's a 15. The promo Starwall Defender, I think he's also a 15. Those are ones that I don't board often and swing with. They're usually just boarded and they just stay inactive most of the time. So
right here, I'm just re-adding. I add the wrong card. We fix it in a second. The thing about untap that I don't like is that you see a card hit the board. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, 18, gotcha. He used the leader's ability to actually combo with that 18, so I shouldn't have pitched a card. And so I'm going back to actually find the card and put the right one in my hand, and we just shuffle afterwards. Because it's supposed to bottom deck it, but since he played it from the drop area, it doesn't actually get its skills, so you don't actually get to do that. Also, I think, is 18 also specified from hand?
Yep.
Yeah, 18 has to be comboed from the hand to get the effect, but I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have comboed 18 from the drop area and my opponent immediately just bottom decks something, and I tell a little white lie and I don't say anything about it.
Tis.
You've done it before, Bancroft. Shut up.
So establishing the unison and following up. Oh, I still didn't mention this. My opponent's from the deck from Deck Planet actually, so it's pretty cool. Pretty good guy. Got a chance to play against him. We joked around a lot during these matches as well. So, but here, what I love about this leader is that just the ability to look at your top 2 cards, add what you want to your hand, and we talked about this in another video where it lets my opponent know what I'm adding to my hand. But sometimes that's not a problem, because then they're expecting certain things, and I can still play other things around that to throw that off.
Oh, there's something you might not know. You actually can look at each card one at a time. You don't have to look at both at the same time.
I do that. It's like, once again, it's the untap thing. I just say peep 2, just to make it easier for untap. But I think when Jimmy, did we play when I brought this to the shop by any chance?
We did not play each other, no.
Okay. I have a tendency to just, I pull the first card, look at it, and then I go for, I'll just add to my hand and go from there. But with untap, I just peep 1. I know you could do peep 1 to go back and click peep 2, just to get that second one to show as well. But I just was trying to save time on this one. He's from the UK, so I think it was 6 o'clock for me, so it was 11 p.m. for him. And I was just trying to benefit his time that we're using right now.
Oh, that's good of you. Yeah, that's fine then.
Nah, Bancroft is dumb. He don't know what he's doing.
Exactly. Wow. You've all seen me play the AOD Broly. I pick 1 card at a time. If I like it, I just stop.
Yeah, we've seen that too much.
I haven't played that since Gen Con.
Yeah,
not Gen Con. Not Gen Con.
Yeah, whatever you say.
TCG Con, there we go.
Yeah, close enough.
Do you happen to play Goku Divine Presence in this deck?
I don't know the top of my head, actually.
Yeah, because that's one of Red's best cards for dealing with Boo.
It is. I can't remember. I don't think it's in the main deck, but I don't remember if it's in the side deck or not. I'll have to go back and look at it later.
Man, I can't believe you, Bancroft.
Look,
I thought you were actually going to play something cool.
I play so many theme decks that when I get to making a real deck, I always forget key cards, man. Or I forget good blue cards that exist that you should always add, like a 4-drop Gotenks.
Who would play that?
I don't know.
They probably smell really, really bad. Possibly.
Okay, so just going by the current game state, I think I'm going to make a prediction here. I think Bancroft loses this game pretty handily. And I don't know if that's exactly true, but that's just going off my experience in this current game state. He's really far behind. His opponent's way up in cards and winning the board, and has a really good established defense on the board as well.
it was definitely an uphill battle when I was playing this match, just because like getting the Boo on board, and then from there, like I said, 16 has a lot of just good blockers as well. They can just establish by arrivaling, and if I recall correctly, all of the ones that do arrival will play in active mode, so that way they can turn around, play it on my turn, and then immediately block with it afterwards.
I mean, how could Bancroft lose? He has 2 super combos. That's the win the game scenario. Doesn't matter how many cards he has, and he has 2 super combos. And a Deborah, that's a draw too.
It is, and
Yeah.
this Android 16 likes to discard cards.
No, you just pay 3 for that shit.
I could just outright play 3. You're right.
Yeah, that's the best way to play that card.
So here I'm debating about just passing, because there's nothing really for me to play. Like I could play the Vegetas, I could play the Deborah, I could the Yamcha actually is not free in this case, so I decided to just pass turn and be more responsive on his plays. And if he would play a card early on, I could just throw down Vegeta and just neg his board out, and then make him restart his board.
Or you could pay 3 for Deborah.
Or I could pay 3 for Deborah. You're right.
Yeah. That might draw you into Baby Hatch, because I know you run it.
Yeah, I run Baby Hatching Yamcha.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is going to get trunked. I'd be very surprised if this Topo resolved.
If I recall correctly, it does actually.
Oh my.
He did not see a Trunks at this point. Because I remember asking, I was like, is this good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Maybe he was just fucking with you.
Deborah's about to put in so much work.
Never mind.
He passed his turn though. Because with the Topo on board, alright, cool, that's fine with me. And I'm seeing a lot of good pieces, but not anything that will benefit from that, unfortunately. And if I recall correctly, I choose not to, charge a card.
There you go. Ooh.
I think I keep the Topo, and I discard the Nappa, only because I do have a Rat already in my hand, so I could come up with that if I needed to rival. At the same time, me discarding the Nappa puts in his mind, what the fuck is in his hand, where he doesn't feel like he needs a super combo.
Yeah, it's 2 super combos.
I think me right here, I would have probably super comboed on the leader's swing to dig for an arrival card, because he didn't even block it, he just let the swing through.
Yeah.
And I would have probably tried to dig for arrival, because you have the Raditz in hand to fix the combo anyway.
And that, truth be told, that probably was, or would have been the better call. I just, in this current mindset, we see his board, we see where he's at, and I'm thinking, I just need to hang on to what I have for our defensive play. But because he rivaled, I go ahead and just play the Vegeta, which negged out, I think, his entire board.
Yeah.
And now, like, because I think that the 16 he played was a blocker revenge, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Dual attack, blocker revenge. Very strong. Surprisingly, you don't see that card ran a lot outside 16. Well, blue-green's not a very popular color outside of Android 16, but I feel like if we get another archetype that plays into that, I feel like that 16 is going to be fairly strong.
Yes. Also, the leader won't show an untap. That's another great thing about untap.
Love it, don't you?
Yep.
You're playing the set 5 Yamcha, right? That's the best one.
That's not the set 5 one. It's the set 10, I think.
No. You're playing the set 5 one.
Right.
Yeah. That's why the leader won't show. Because nobody remembers that shit.
I'm actually curious if you crown him here. Oh, you passed. I guess you passed because you wanted to keep Topo up.
I wanted to maintain 2 energy just for a Topo. Because, like I said, I'm in the mindset where I just need to slow him down so I can actually apply the pressure.
It's just rough because he has literally everything wants to play in his energy right now.
Yeah.
If he had a Trunks here, I think the game was over. But as we see, he probably doesn't have a Trunks again.
I'm figuring out what to discard first. And truth be told, I want to hang on to the 4-drop in case I see another 5-drop. That way I can establish it during my turn with the Piccolo. But he Blue Impulses me.
Wow, that's a sick play. I actually applaud this guy.
Yeah, that was a play. I think that came from his sideboard. Yeah.
That's pretty damn stinky.
He didn't see a Trunks again, so... And now I'm in a situation where I'm like, alright, I'll just reestablish a Unison, do a +1 on the draw, and then go from there. And then I pull my Secret Rare. Which, don't get me wrong, it's not safe against the Majin Buu, but on play, it would rip 2 life. So now my mindset is, I just gotta hold off, do 2 damage to him, and hold off 1 more turn.
You only have to do 1 damage to him, I think. If you burn him for a damage, your leader is going to burn him for another. So you only have to get him to 3.
That's right, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
And then you have to pray that he still hasn't found a Trunk.
Yeah. But he's being very good at just not letting that damage go through. So here he combos.
Steadfast Ally.
Yep.
This card is gross.
I love this card because, like, thematically in lore, it's like he's screaming for his mom to come, and it's really, really funny. I have a local who, whenever he plays this card, he's like, "Mom!" And it's just the best thing ever.
And we, because it technically you pick the energy, he just said just do the top one. Where it's just easier this way for untaps purposes than you have to, like, put them all on the side or something like that. And here, like, my 2 swings, I want to maintain what I got. I can either take a life to play a token, I could tap 2 to play the blocker negate 1. I have
I honestly am going to come out and say you absolutely should have played Crown here. You had no reason to keep 3 up. 2, yeah, but 3?
Looking back on it, I do agree with that.
Because if he had the Trunks, you could have poached it here for your Secret Rare next turn.
I think part of the mindset was if I called it on this turn, I just place a 6 energy so I could just do a crown and then go with the swings and try to get the Secret Rare off. And he just didn't see any of his Trunkses, which really benefited me a lot.
Yeah, that'll. If he doesn't see his answer to everything that you play, then yeah, it's a good way to lose.
We had a game, I think it was on camera. It was Soul Striker with the Cooler Engine. Didn't see it a Unison all game. All 4 were in my deck. Just didn't see them.
That's crazy.
That's a skill gap.
Yeah, because I mean, there were 2 stages in this game where if he had a Trunks, you probably would have lost. If he'd had it for your first Topo, he could have pushed in.
Yeah.
And if he'd had it for the Secret Rare, for sure, he would have no chance of losing. I think if he had it for the Secret Rare, because it would give him a whole extra turn.
Here, I'm holding off on the blocker for the double strike on his Unison. So that's why I don't do it against the 21. Just gotta figure out what I think bottom deck right now.
You already bottom
deck? Yeah, you bottom deck first.
Oh, so comboing off, sorry.
Yeah. Man, Bancroft being dumb.
My dog's whining in the background, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with him first. That's more important right now. So
Probably has to shit or something. So blocking the boo swing is big because it's just going to be a big 30k attack 90% of the time because of the activate main.
Mm-hmm.
And also just getting, free arrival fodder is kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah, and just pulling that and having another 21 ready to go puts me down to 2 life with 2 more swings to go at.
Hey, you found a Trunks. Too bad it's in his dropper, I guess he popped it for Bad Omen.
Yes.
Oh.
And double super code from his hand this time. And it's just like, it doesn't matter, unfortunately. And I'm like, combo? And that was it. And I explained, I had the secret in my hand. He's like, I knew you had that one. So, like I said, like, he just held off on going down to 3 life. Because those are the 2 potential win opportunities in this deck. If my opponent's at 3 life, either swing with the Piccolo with the Gogeta on board, or drop the secret rare.
That is one really big benefit of Android 16 is his ability to play out even after play through many forms of disruption and board wipes because it can extend from energy, and that's just a really, really good deck right now.
Yep. So kudos to him. He moves on to the next round. I go down to the loser bracket. But hey, I got another opportunity. So we'll see what happens. And with that, thank you all for tuning in. Keep on those buttons down below, and I'll let someone else do an outro if you want.
Anybody watching Better Call Saul right now?